What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. There have been a lot of new makeup brushes released over the past couple of weeks, and I know it can be very overwhelming. And these brushes do tend to be pretty expensive. They are luxury items, so don't worry, friends. This video is going to be your guide to all of the new brush sets. I have the new Sonia G, I have the new Goss, I have the new BK Beauty, I have the new Rephr brushes. So this is going to be your complete guide. I will be giving you guys my honest thoughts on each of the sets, letting you know which of the brushes are my favorite, the ones I think you need to pay attention to, and then at the very end of this video, friends, I'm also going to tell you my thoughts on why I think some of the brushes are more expensive than others. Let's dive in. Okay, party people, let's dive in. The first brush set that I'm going to be covering in this video is the newest one from BK Beauty. This is their collaboration with Nikki. She is a professional makeup artist. She is also a creator here on YouTube, and I already did a full in-depth review of this set, guys. So if you're really interested in this after watching this video, go watch the full in-depth review that I already did. I will link it in the description box. Now, this is the only set that I've picked up that is made of synthetic bristles. This is also the only one that I've picked up that is a mixture of face brushes and eye brushes. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit kind of a mix of both, you might want to pay attention to this one. Now, this is not really like your beginner set. This is their BK Beauty Pro set. BK Beauty already has kind of like their standard sets that you can pick up. And those are the ones that I would recommend if you're kind of like just getting started, you want to build out your brush collection. Those are also, I think, like the most giftable sets that I'm going to talk about in this video are the BK Beauty signature sets. This one, as I mentioned in my other review, it's more for like taking your makeup to the next level. You're going to get a lot of precision with the brushes that are included in this, and hands down, my favorite brushes are number one, the N17. This one is good for so many different things. It is such a multitasker. You can use this for powder products. You can also use this for applying cream blush. You can use this for highlighter. You can use it for concealer. In my demo, I also showed you guys how I use this for foundation. I particularly like to use this with the Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. Unfortunately, this set is only sold as a set right now, but when these come out as singles, I highly recommend that you pick up the N17. The other favorite that I have here is the N16, and this is kind of just like a mini version of the N17. It is a very cool, unique, tiny little precise detail brush. This is perfect for concealer. That's mostly what it was designed to do, but you also can use this, or at least I really like to use this, for cream eyeshadow. If you love those sorts of like one and done cream or liquid eyeshadows, this is going to be a fantastic brush for that. But you can use this for detail work. You could use this for kind of touch-ups and those types of things. These are really two standout brushes to me from that collection. Overall, this set for me is all about the face brushes. The face brushes are my favorite. The eye brushes are good too, but I really go to BK Beauty for kind of that versatility of being able to switch between cream and powder because you get these super soft, luxurious synthetic bristles. They're very easy to clean. So friends, if you're not interested in the majority of the brushes that are in this brush set, what I would do is just be patient. Just wait until these brushes are sold separately. Go back, watch my video guide, decide which ones you feel like are going to be the ones you get the most use out of, and just buy them as singles. But if you use a lot of cream and powder products, if you feel like you don't have a lot of like precision brushes in your collection and you want something that's going to be very carefree, that's when I would buy this set. It's $180. So make sure you're really going to get a lot of use out of all of these. And as I mentioned, friends, if you're looking for more of a beginner set, or if you're looking to gift a brush set, that's when I would go more towards the BK Beauty Essentials set. They're the most affordable ones that I'm going to be talking about in this video, other than the Rephr ones when they go on sale. So those are a really good option if you want something carefree, giftable, very basic, but still super luxurious. By the way, if you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Sophia and I love luxury beauty. I upload new videos just like this one every single week. So if you love luxury beauty, if you love helpful guides, makeup brushes, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join our fam because we would love to have you. And as a quick reminder, friends, I always link all the products that I talk about in my videos and any of the makeup that is on my face in that description box down below. I do use affiliate links, so if you want to support my channel this holiday season, if you find this guide helpful, shopping through my affiliate links is a wonderful way to do so. And with that, friends, let's get on with the rest of this video. Next up, friends, we have the new Sonia G Fundamentals eye set, and this retails for a whopping $252. A lot of you guys are interested in my thoughts on this because it's so expensive, and I got a lot of comments about the price of these. But guys, it's because these are made by artisans, handmade in Japan with top of the line materials. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Luckily, these are all sold separately, so I am going to go into every single brush, give you guys a summary of my thoughts, and help you figure out maybe which individual brush or brushes you want to pick up if you don't want to get the entire set. This set is truly meant, it's designed to be fundamental. So if you are a beginner or you just need some very basic brushes and you want something extremely luxurious with high performance, this is going to be your set. If you are just getting started with Sonia G, if you don't have any of her other brush sets or shapes or whatever, this is a fantastic set to get started with. I'm just going to say right off the bat, guys, this is probably, it's very close to what I would design if I were to design my perfect brush set. I know I'm kind of like hyping this up a little bit, but these are absolutely gorgeous. Now in this set, we have 4 new brushes, and then we have 4 reinstated brushes, ones that were discontinued from previous collections. I want to show you guys a close-up of the beautiful details of this brush. These are, like I said, handmade by artisans in Japan. They are true luxury. The handles are made of gorgeous walnut wood, hand-carved, hand-finished. Walnut wood is some of the most expensive wood that you can use, not only for brushes, but for furniture and other types of things. And then the bristles, guys, are made of the silkiest, the softest, very high grade Saikoho goat hair. So they are going to be so soft on your eyelids. Very, very good quality. I want to walk you through each and every one of the brushes right now to help provide you with a guide on which ones you might want to get. First up, friends, we have the Crease L. This is one of the newer designs, and this is going to be your perfect fundamental crease brush. I like the fact that she made this not too big, not too small. It still has a little bit of fluffiness in there, so you can really blend out colors in the crease, shear them out if you want to. But it also has like a little bit of tapering at the top to kind of really get the product exactly where you want it. It's not an extremely novel shape. There's other crease brushes in the Sonia G collection. I don't think this one is an absolute must-have, but it certainly is fundamental. This is going to be my new go-to from now on. The other one that we have here is another new crease brush. This is the Crease M, and I'll show you guys a quick little comparison of the two. Obviously, this one is the smaller version. It's going to be more precise. I really like to use this one to build up a little bit of depth in the outer corner. It's perfect for the outer V if you want something that's going to be more soft. If you have hooded eyes, if you have more mature eyes, this is probably going to be the better crease brush for you because it really allows you to be precise around that part of your eyelid. So this is going to give you a little bit more precision. Next up, friends, we have the 2 worker brushes. I am very partial to this type of shape because it is flat, so it's good for laying down the product, but then also they have some fluffiness to them. The tips of these brushes are very wispy, so they're great for blending out the shadow as well. The first one in the collection is the Worker M. I'll show you guys close-ups of this one. This is fantastic for all over color. If you like one and dones, if you like to sheer out the shades across your lids, if you want something that's quick, that's super wispy and soft, great for blending, this is going to be a fantastic brush for that. I also really like this for building up some depth in the outer corner. If you want a very soft, natural, blended, professional type of depth in the outer corner, this is going to be perfect for that. And then, of course, we have the Worker S. This is going to be the smaller version of the Worker M. I'll show you guys a little comparison right here. Now, this is going to be a little bit more precise. It's pretty much the same shape. It's not quite as fluffy. So if you want something that is mostly going to lay down shimmer shades, that's what I would use this for on the lid. It's great. Once again, it's very multi-purpose because you can lay down the color, but if you want to sheer it out, if you want to blend it out, you can go in with the tips here, kind of turn it on its side and blend out that shadow. Next up, friends, we have the builder brushes. The builder brushes are designed for really laying down and packing on the color. If you want more pigmentation out of your shadow, these are going to be great for that. These are also great for like a Natasha Denona, even a Charlotte Tilbury, a Pat McGrath style of shadow, because those tend to be creamier and you need something that's going to be a little bit firmer and denser to really spread that evenly on the lid without getting fallout. The first builder brush is the Builder M. This is the larger of the two. This is your perfect perfect shader brush for doing exactly what I just said. This was one of the discontinued brushes that she brought back, and I'm really glad that she did. As you guys can see, I like to use this for just applying the color all over the lid. Really, really great for shimmers. And then we also have the Builder S, which I love for precision. I use these style of brushes all the time. I honestly can't get enough of them. I really like these for applying the shadow in the inner corner, a little bit more precise. I don't want to cover up what I just did on the other part of my eye. I don't want to get glitter or shimmer into my eye. I like to use this for the inner corner, and I also think that this is precise enough that you can use it on the lower lash line. This is incredibly soft, so it's not going to scratch. You can use it on the lower lash line, and it's going to be very, very gentle and not tug at your skin, friends. And then finally, friends, we have the pencil brushes. Once again, there are two. One is bigger, one is smaller. The first one is the Pencil L. This is a very dense pencil brush. It has a nice little nubby shape, which is perfect for really packing on the color in the outer V of your eye. I like to use this for precise placement right there to build up a little bit of depth. You can build up a lot of depth. You can build just enough because it's big enough that you can like really get it on there, but small enough that you can still be precise. You totally could use this for like inner corner as well. You could use it maybe on the lower lash line. It's a little bit big for that, but I like to use it more so kind of on the outer V of the eye. And then the last brush, friends, is the Pencil S. This is the perfect precision brush. This is your lower lash line brush. If you don't want to use the Worker S, then this is going to be your go-to. This one's a little bit more precise. You can really get in there. It's good for the inner corner as well. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of the Rephr number 3, which is one of my most used brushes. But this one is definitely, it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit higher quality, but it's a very similar shape. I know a lot of you guys are wondering what is my opinion of this brush set because it is very expensive. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I absolutely love it. For me, it is worth it. I love Sonia G. I love the brushes. They are very good quality. This is definitely my favorite brush set in this video. It just feels so complete and useful to me, something that I can reach for every day. I really like it. It's one of my favorite brush sets ever, but it is very luxurious. Like, this is luxury. These are very high-end materials. And because by definition, this is a fundamental set, the shapes aren't the most unique. You probably could dupe a lot of these with the Rephr brushes. I'll list down below in the description box, friends, the Rephr brushes that I feel are probably the closest to these. It's not going to be the exact same experience. It's not going to have the beautiful handle. It's not going to have, the same softness as Sonia G, but because these are kind of more fundamental shapes, I do think I could maybe dupe them with some of the other ones that I have in my collection. And you know what? Before I was a YouTuber, I didn't really buy brush sets all that much. I mostly buy the sets to do the reviews for all of you. I typically would just buy single brushes and I would kind of add to my Fude collection little by little because the sets are very expensive. So I want to take a quick second to share with you guys my favorite ones from this collection and also the ones I think you might want to pick up if you already have some of the other Sonia G eye sets. If I could only have 3 brushes from this collection, it would be these 3. So right here I have the Worker S, the Builder S, and the Pencil L. These are just the 3 that I feel like are the most unique and they're very multi-purpose. These are just my favorites. So if you already have a lot of brushes or a lot of Sonia G brushes, you might want to consider picking these up. I'm going to put these lists in the description box, guys. Hopefully everything will fit, but just so that you don't have to write this down as you're doing this, you can just check the description box. Now, if you are kind of like a minimalist and you just want to get 3 brushes to do an entire eye look, I would pick these up. So right here we have the Crease L, we have the Worker M, and then we have the Pencil S. And my reasoning for this is that you can use the crease brush to do your crease, and then you could go in with this and you can lay on the color all over the lid. You can also use it to blend. You could also use it to create some depth in the outer corner of the eye, and then you can use the little pencil brush to do your lower lash line and the inner corner. Boom, done. There is your look. But what if you already own a Sonia G eye set? Which of these are worth picking picking up. If you already own the Sky Eye set, I would suggest picking up these two. So we have the Pencil L and the Builder M. And my reasoning for that is because these really help you build up the color and pack it onto the lid. You don't really have that in the Sky Eye set. You do have the soft shader right here, which is one of my favorite brushes of all time. It really does a good job of laying, shimmers or any kind of color onto the lid, but it isn't really designed for packing that on. You get, the jumbo blender, which is kind of, more for softening the look. You also have the mini booster, so you get some precision, but you don't have any brushes in the Sky Eye set to really like pack on the color. Or if you have like a high shine, creamy metallic finish, you don't really have a brush that is specifically designed for that. So I would go for those two. Similarly, what if you own the Sonia G Pro Eye set? If you own the Pro Eye set, I would recommend these three. So here we have the Worker M, the Pencil S, and the Crease M. The Worker M is great because you get a one and done type of brush, something that is kind of big, jumbo, fluffy. You have the jumbo blender in the Sky Eye set, but you don't really have something like that in the Pro set. Similarly, in the Pro Eye set, you don't really get the precision brushes. The brushes are a little bit larger. And so a lot of people, if they have smaller eyes or hooded eyes, they usually recommend to go for the Sky Eye set. So if you have the Pro set, you can kind of add that level of like precision if you add these smaller brushes right here. In general, friends, when it comes to the Sonia G eye sets, I would say that the Sky Eye set is probably the one that has the most unique shapes. And if you have smaller or hooded eyes, I think that one is really great. If you want to maybe not spend so much, but you still want an eye set, I would probably go for that one. If you want a beginner set, that's where I would go with this Fundamentals, or you can kind of, add on, as I just suggested, to other sets with some of these brushes. And then the Pro Eye set, I really like that one, but it isn't my favorite. Like, I don't think these shapes are all that unique. If you already have the Pro Eye set, I don't really think you need to go and get this new one. I would just get those extra three brushes that I just mentioned. If you guys want more recommendations and thoughts on more of the Sonia G brushes, because obviously you can see I'm very passionate about the Sonia G Fude, I do have a Sonia G ranking video, and I will link that in the description box. You can find that over on my channel page, where I rank every single Sonia G brush that I own, including the face brushes. So there's so much in that video. Definitely check that one out after this. I know a lot of you guys are excited to hear my thoughts on the new Wayne Goss first edition eye set. Wayne Goss is back, baby. His brushes were out of stock for so long, and now he has come back with a bang with the release of this eye set. And then he also released a face set, which I have not picked up yet. I did purchase these with my own money. Same thing with the Sonia G. Can get very expensive, so I decided to pick up the eye set first. And just like the Sonia G, this is going to be made with top-notch materials. It retails for $158. You get 6 brushes, so 2 less than the Sonia G, so it's going to be a little bit more affordable, but you still get that silky soft Psychoho goat hair. They're still very good quality. I would say overall, the aesthetic of these brushes, they're going to be a lot different from the Sonia G. These are like sleek black handles, very like professional, modern. They look very makeup artist, whereas the Sonia G, they have more of that kind of artisanal look and feel. There's no right or wrong answer. It just depends on like which aesthetic you like in particular. I also want to mention that I think in comparison to the Sonia G, these shapes, they're more of a mix between novel and fundamental. So I'm going to go through each of the brushes and give you guys my thoughts. The first brush in the collection is the E1, the large shadow brush. This is going to be your all over the lid, one and done type of brush if you like to sheer out the shadows on your lid, or if you just want to get like a nice base when you start out your eye look, either of like a lighter shadow or even a pressed powder. That's what this is going to be good for. You can also use this to kind of precision powder, maybe around the nose, maybe like in the tear duct region. So I like that this can be used also as a face brush if you want it to be. Personally, this one isn't my favorite in the collection, not because it isn't good, because let me tell you, this is deliciously soft. Like, it really feels luxurious when you are using this on your eyelids. But the reason that I don't really reach for this one all that much is because it is so big and chunky. I really can only use it for kind of the things that I just told you. I can't really do many looks with this, but if you are like a simple one and done type of person who you want something like this to kind of prep your eye, then it's going to be great. I have noticed that this style of like large eyeshadow brush, it seems to be very popular, more so in like Asian cultures. Their aesthetic for makeup is a little bit sheer, a little bit more blended. And so I see a lot of other Food Aid brands producing this type of brush. And so I think it is nice that Wayne included it in his collection. Next up, friends, we have the E2, the small crease brush. This is the brush that you want to pay attention to. This is the one out of the whole collection that I think you need to pick up. The shape of this is very unique. You can tell a lot of thought and design went into this shape. This is a crease brush, and you'll see it's kind of fat in the center, but then it tapers up to this amazingly pointy tip. This is not super easy to do. These are all hand bundled to be this perfect little shape. And this is really going to give you both the precision to get that shadow into the crease, but also to blend it out. You could use it to get it there just kind of like as a general crease color, but then you also can use it to create a little bit of definition in the outer V to kind of open up the eye, but it's not gonna be like super dense and dark and heavy because this isn't a very dense brush. It's very, very wispy. It's so cool. If you have smaller eyes, hooded eyes, highly recommend that you get this small little crease brush. Wayne Goss is like the king of the hooded eye tutorial. Have you guys notice he has like over 20 hooded eye tutorials on YouTube? It's all the same tutorial. He's just filmed it 20 times. He is ranking for hooded eye tutorial. So I love that he created what is essentially the perfect hooded eye brush to really do like that Wayne Goss method tutorial. Similarly, we have the E3. Now this is the large crease brush. This is gonna be basically same thing as the E2, but it is just a little chunkier and a little bit longer as well. I have larger eyes and I have a lot of space right up here. So I particularly like this one to do, kind of like to start off my eye look and really get a good base in there. It's gonna cover a larger surface area. So if you really wanna kind of shear something out, this is going to be great for that. Not going to be as precise, at least for me, to kind of create definition in the outer V. It's a little bit too big for that. And so that's when I usually dip into the E2. Next up, we have the E4, and this is the lay down brush. This is going to be perfect for laying down any kind of shimmer shadow across the lid. It's kind of just like your standard shader brush, but I do like that it has a little bit of give there, guys, because it makes it super soft, not too stiff, going to work for a lot of different eyeshadow formulas. I will say though, this one, it's a little bit more dupeable than the crease brushes that I just showed you guys. So it's a really good standard brush, but if you have a lot of brushes already, you probably already have something very similar to this. Next up, we have the E5, which is the detail brush. This is going to be a rather small pencil brush, and this is good for inner corner shadow. This is so tiny where you're just kind of like sitting here trying to get the shadow on for forever, but it is small enough that I think you can use it for the lower lash line, or even if you just want to build up a little bit of depth along the upper lash line. This is not going to be as small as the Sonia G one, which I'll show you right here. That one is going to give you a little bit more precision. I will be honest, guys, I usually like something a little bit smaller. I tend to think that more precise is always better unless you're like really in a rush. So if I had to choose between the two of them, I would choose the Sonia G one, but the Wayne Goss is really nice as well. I think this one is probably a lot quicker when it comes to inner corner highlight. And lastly, we have the E6, the small detail brush. I don't like this brush. I'm sorry, Wayne Goss. I don't like this, and I don't like it because it is very harsh and scratchy on my lash line. This is supposed to be a tiny bitty little detail brush to use on the upper and lower lash line. I guess you could use it for other things, but I feel like that is the main use for this. I just feel like it's scratchy. And when I went in with my shadow the other day and I applied it to the upper lash line, it was so stiff that the shadow just kind of fell out onto my cheeks, and I really don't get that with other brushes. I have to be honest, guys, I would just get the Rephr one of this because that one is a lot softer. The bristles are not as stiff, so I don't get as much like flicking and scratchiness. BK Beauty also has a really small little detail brush. That one's going to be synthetic. It's really good if you're going in with maybe like a cream eyeliner because it's a little bit easier to wash. So I'm sorry, Wayne, I don't really like this one. And I'm kind of confused because it says that the bristles are uncut Psychoho goat hair, but this one definitely feels like they're just very blunt and chopped off, and it's just scratchy, and I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. So in summary, friends, given that some of these brushes are a little bit doable for me, and because I don't like the last brush in the collection, I would recommend just picking up the brushes that interest you the most. I probably wouldn't get the full set unless all of the brushes really interest you. I don't see this as like a fundamental set like the Sonia G one, where it's like, oh, okay, I really feel like I'm covering all my bases here. This is interesting to me because, well, number one, love the aesthetic, love the quality, but also because you get some very novel shapes. The picks here, like I said, are the 2 crease brushes and probably the large eyeshadow brush, but only if like that's your sort of makeup aesthetic. And then lastly, friends, we have the 2 new brush sets that were released from Rephr this holiday. We have the Mini Eye Set and the Max Eye Set. Now the concept here is that they went and they took some of the most popular eye brushes from the core collection. They made them a little bit smaller for the mini set, and then they made them a little bit larger for the max set. And friends, I already did a full review of both of the sets, so if you really want something in depth, I will link that review down below. But just in summary, okay? The max eye set is for my friends out there that do more of like one and done looks, maybe simpler makeup. You want something really natural and blended. Maybe you like to sheer out your shadows. You like Chanel, Tom Ford, Dior, those types of formulas. Maybe you just don't have the time, you're not trying to be a makeup artist. You want something quick, you gotta get ready for work in the morning, then the Max Eye Set is going to be for you. Now the Mini Eye Set, that's gonna be for my friends out there that wanna be a little more of an artiste. You want some more precision, you wanna level things up. Maybe you're trying to recreate looks that you see on social media, but they just don't really come out the same way. You might just need some more precise brushes. If you have hooded eyes, smaller eyes, maybe even more mature eyes, I usually think that going with smaller, more precise brushes is the way to go. So that's when I would go more for the mini set. I honestly like both of them, guys. It's not that one is better than the other. It really just depends on the type of makeup looks that you're trying to create. And I kind of think about these brushes or these sets similar to how I think of the one from BK Beauty that we talked about earlier. They're not the absolute must-haves. Like by definition, they aren't, because they already have a core line of brushes that they've been selling for the past couple of years. But if you want to sort of change things up, if you already have makeup brushes and you want to give yourself more precision or just more shapes to work with as you do your makeup, then I think that these are a very good option. And finally, friends, for realsies this time, because I'm sure this video was so long, I hope you found it helpful. I do want to give just a quick commentary around which of the brands you might want to choose depending on what you're going for. I always get questions, Sophia, what's better, BK Beauty or Rephr? What's better, Sonia G or Goss? And it's not that one is better than the other. It's just they're all made of different materials in different ways, and some of them are a little bit more luxurious than others. So starting off with BK Beauty versus Rephr, the BK Beauty ones, they are made of synthetic bristles, still very soft, like the softest synthetic brushes I've ever tried, and that's why I like them. And then when it comes to Rephr, these are made of natural goat hair bristles. So you can use their brushes for creams and powders, but personally, guys, my favorite Rephr brushes are the eye brushes that I use just to create eyeshadow looks with powder eyeshadows. These are great workhorse brushes. I have multiples of many of the shapes because they're just everyday staples for me. I don't really have the budget to be buying like 5 Sonia G fundamental eye sets because it's just so expensive. It really is a luxury. And the Rephr brushes, in my mind, these are more like your affordable luxury. A lot of the feedback that I get from you guys is that you really like the quality of these, especially for the price, and you do the same thing as me. You kind of stock up whenever there is a sale. I feel personally like they last very well. I think they're just as hardy as the BK Beauty ones. I like that you don't have to be too precious with these. It's almost like, when I think about my handbag collection, I have some really high-end handbags. I have like Chanel and Dior. That's gonna be like my Goss and Sonia G. And then I have like my Monsieur Gabriel, my Coach bags. I love those as well. And I get just as much enjoyment from using them, and they're just as functional, but they're more of like that affordable luxury. And that's how I think about the Rephr brushes. Now with the Sonia Sonia G and the Wayne Goss brushes, these are going to be a higher price point because there's just a higher level of quality of the materials that go into these, the artisanship, the labor that goes into these. The bristles, yes, they are goat hair just like the Rephr ones, but different fibers have different grades. Some of them are going to be ranked higher than others. Basically, what Sonia G and Wayne Goss are doing is that they're trying to go for more premium fibers, and that is reflected in the price. I noticed on the Rephr website, they said that they blend their fibers, and that's very similar, at least this is what I think they're doing. It's a very similar technique in winemaking. If you guys don't know, I do have a certificate in wine. I've studied wine, and in wine, you might have different grapes that are grown in different areas and a technique to achieve consistency. And sometimes to kind of keep the price down on your product is to blend the grapes. And so that's probably what Rephr is doing with their bristles. They have a unique blend that helps them order more brushes, more materials, probably create these more so in bulk so that they can get that discount, but you're still getting the same level of quality and consistency from the brushes. They don't tell me this stuff, guys. This is just like my hypothesis about why I think they're a little bit cheaper. It all goes down to the materials, how you source them, how you make the brushes, who's making them. Someone is like hand carving and finishing the wood here. It's very expensive wood. That's probably why the Sonia ones are a little bit more expensive than the Wayne Goss ones, because my guess is that maybe the handles are a little bit harder to source. The wood was a little bit more premium. It doesn't make the brush better. It really is just about, is that luxurious to you? The shapes also may play a part. For example, the Wayne Goss crease brushes. These are a very unique shape. It probably took a really long time to get it right. These are all hand bundled, and so somebody needs to get this perfect little shape every single time. So it all is reflected in the price. And even with BK Beauty, guys, you know what? These are synthetic bristles, but they are trying to mimic the shape of like a natural fiber. And that takes money, and that takes research and development as well. And I'm sure it took them a really long time to get each of these little brushes just right so that they perform well, but they also feel almost as soft as a natural bristle brush. And thank you, friends, for letting me go off on this very nerdy commentary, but enough about what I think. I want to hear about what you guys think. Please sound off in the comment section down below. Please give me your feedback. Let me know if this style of video was helpful. Let me know what other brush videos you want to see, because you guys know I'm very passionate about this, and I love helping you figure out what you might want to pick up. If you like this video, please do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.